Halloween is just a few weeks away, and as we head into the weekend, we want to catch you up on some movies that are perfect for the spooky season. This Friday, the films aren't all about ghouls and goblins, though. We're stepping into the strange and creepy happenings and the supernatural eye-openers that you can't miss. And here now with your scary weekend watch list is friend of the show, Tom Santilli, film critic, co-host, and executive producer of Movie Show Plus. Tom, it's great to see you again. Happy to be here on a Friday. And, you know, a lot of times I don't even know what time of year it is because time's flying so fast until I see, like, the movie recommendations on all the streaming platforms. They all switch. Yes. And then you see all the Halloween scary movies. Scary movies, it depends on the type of person, you know, what's scary, what's not. What would you say makes a true horror movie?
Well, you know, good to be here, Kevin, too, man. But, you know, that really differs for everybody. You know, I think that a good horror movie walks this fine line between you want to make the audience, like, want to not look at the screen, right? But the whole point is to watch the movie. So, like, if you can get them that weird, like, where they're kind of covering their face, you know, kind of mode, that to me is effective horror. I think it also needs to be based in some kind of reality, even if it's supernatural. We have to kind of imagine that it could happen, right? So those are kind of the two things for me that I find to be effective.
Yeah, I like the ones that they make you jump a little bit, you know, or whenever it's like it's too quiet and you're just like waiting for it, and sometimes it doesn't happen, sometimes it does. You have a list of your scariest movies with us today. What do you have? Yeah,
so you know, I'll preface this by saying, too, that I am not like I'm not a huge horror guy, okay? I'm not into the Nightmare on Elm Street slasher movies. There are probably better film critics suited to give you the actual scariest movies of all time. But for me, these are some films that I think have always stuck with me. I'm going to start off first with a movie. I don't know why exactly, but Fright Night, the 1985 Fright Night. This movie was remade with Colin Farrell recently, but I just remember the vampire. Chris Sarandon plays this vampire, and I can't get him out of my head. I don't know if that movie holds up anymore because I have never rewatched it because I'm so scared of it. So that's just a movie that's kind of like embedded in my childhood, and it has traumatized me. The other one is Poltergeist, the original Poltergeist. I was a kid in the 80s, and so you know, and at that time, you know, that static on the TV was unavoidable. You would kind of get that, you know, if you change channels or whatever. Every time that static comes around, yeah, you freak out, right? And I'm here, and the little girl, and then all the horror that happened off camera, like there's all this, like, people died and, you know, things that were associated with the movie. Ugh. So Poltergeist is a good one. You know, you move next to what was my next film? I got It Follows is on there. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, so Hereditary. I'm sorry, I've lost train of thought here. Hereditary is one of the more recent films.
You got spooked by the Poltergeist, the video that we had playing. That's okay.
Yeah, no, it's weird. I was talking about Poltergeist, and my lights went out as I was talking, and so I got totally freaked out and off kilter. So yeah, so don't watch Poltergeist, everybody. It's too scary. Hereditary is in there. Then It Follows is the other one. It Follows is a movie that really good at kind of you talked about, like, the jump scares and kind of you know, subverting your expectations when you watch it. So Hereditary and It Follows are two recent films, and then of course no list would be complete without a Stephen King film. For me, that movie is Misery. This movie is, like, just perfectly done. Kathy Bates is great. Jimmy Caan. That scene with the ankles. If you've seen the movie, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That movie is like one of the more horrific scenes in movie history. And then the last thing I'd like to point out real quick is you know, The Shining, of course, is a great horror film. Everybody loves The Shining. But if you are a fan of The Shining, there's actually a documentary out there called Room 237. And it's a documentary about The Shining and all of the symbolism and the hidden meaning and all the things in the film. I really think you should check that out. It's on streaming platforms. And then, of course, Doctor Sleep is the sequel to The Shining. Came out a few years ago. It's underrated. I thought it was really good. So check all of those movies out. And my lights are still off, but I'm just completely, that was weird, right? Not planned.
Something's going on. Don't look over your shoulder. Everything's fine.
Right.
But something's going on. The movie that messed me up as a kid was Pet Sematary 2. And it's one of those that I haven't gone back and watched because it was on TV at one point, and I remember just not sleeping. I was like in my brother's room, like we were just freaking out. So, I mean, there's something for everybody, but there's so many to list. If you want to check out more, do you have some at Movie Show Plus?
Yeah, you can go to Movie Show Plus for some more of my list. I also have a list out. It's on WXYZ. It's family-friendly Halloween films. If you guys see my background, this is more my jam, like Great Pumpkin kind of level horror.
Mine too.
So, yeah, so you can check all that out. But of course, this is the time to get to all those films.
Yeah, I like the ones that are so bad they're funny type of horror movies too. So I'm right there with you. We'll get your light fixed. Be careful out there, Tom.
Please stay with me, Kevin. Leave me alone.
We appreciate you as always. You go to movieshowplus.com for much more from Tom Santilli. Stay safe out there, Tom. We'll be right back.
Thanks, man.